What up, meal prepsters? It's Bobby, and today we are doing super duper healthy meal prep for weight loss and for clean eating, but you know we're doing it Flav City style, which means we ain't gonna skimp on the flavor, because we are making stuffed chicken breasts with pesto sauce, red peppers, and olives, a lentil salad loaded with artichokes, carrots, and herbs, and broccoli and cauliflower roasted in the oven till it's crispy on the outside and creamy on the inside. So if you guys love my meal prep videos and want to join the community, subscribe to my channel. I got new videos every Friday morning, and I want you to be part of the meal prepping action. I have 5 chicken breasts in front of me, but check out these skinny boys. They have been butterflied and pounded thin for me by my butcher. Now the beauty is you don't have to do this yourself. If you ask your butcher in a super polite way, they will do it. Just say you want it super thin for scallopini. But if for some reason they don't want to do it for you, this is how you do it. You buy the butterflied chicken breasts, then you take some plastic wrap like this, place it down over the top of the chicken like that, and then grab grandma's old rolling pin and take out some aggression for the day. But pound down and out, because you don't want to tear the chicken meat. So go down into the side like that. Then take the plastic wrap off, and then you see it's nice and thin, and that's what you want. That is total rollability, and we're gonna stuff a lot of good stuff in there. So turn your breast so the smooth side is up, reach for some salt and give a generous pinch all over, and then grab some pepper. Now flip these guys over, and this is gonna be the stuffing side. First, a little more salt and pepper. Now to make these guys taste awesome, I'm gonna grab some of my homemade parsley and peanut pesto. We made this back in the chicken meatball budget meal prep, but if you don't wanna make it, which the recipe is below, go to Trader Joe's. They have such a good pesto and it's really cheap. And then take about a tablespoon of pesto and just dump it right on the breast. And then use a spoon to smear it all the way to the edges. And then add some Kalamata olives that have been chopped. And then some roasted red peppers. Now these I did not roast myself. I don't got time for that. I did buy them at Trader Joe's also because they're crazy cheap and super good. And then a little pinch of fresh parsley. Then go ahead and roll these up. It's okay if some of the filling spills out. Try to get it nice and tight. Those colors in there are gonna be so bomb. And then put it seam side down like that. Now we have to secure this payload, otherwise when we cook it, all the deliciousness is gonna spill out. So I have some butcher's twine here. I always have this back in my cupboard. Just go ahead and slide it under the breast, and we'll do 2 of them. So do one of them about 1/3 of the way up, and then do a nice snug knot on that guy. And then the second piece will go on the other side. I knew all those years of Boy Scouts would pay off one day. And that's it. I'll snip off the excess twine, stuff the rest, and we're ready to go. All right, these chicken breasts are rolled and stuffed, but we all know some Flav City rules that we cannot break, and we never cook cold meat or cold chicken. Why? Yeah, that's why, because it cooks unevenly and it's gonna be dry. So let's move this off to the side and we can get started on my roasted cauliflower and roasted broccoli. In front of me, I have 1 head of cauliflower and about a pound of broccoli florets. Now these guys are super high in fiber and vitamin A, but the fiber is gonna fill up your tummy and make you feel full, but full of deliciousness. So let's cut this guy in half and then cut out the core, just like that. And then you can actually use your hands to break them into florets. Now, if you want to save a few bucks, you can buy the broccoli on the stalk and just cut off the florets yourself, but I was feeling like a little bit of a lazy butt today, so it's okay. And then all you want to do is cut these in large bite-sized pieces. That way they roast really quickly and evenly in the oven. And if you guys haven't had crispy roasted cauliflower, dude, it's a game changer. It gets so nutty and caramelized on the outside, you're gonna fall in love on the first bite, I'm telling you. And then it's super important to cut the broccoli florets in the same size as the cauliflower. That way they cook at the same time. To season the veggies, I'm gonna reach for my best friend, olive oil, and give it about 3 tablespoons. And you need the generous amount of oil. That way it roasts and gets toasty in the oven. Plus olive oil is super good for you and it's a heart-healthy fat. And then a good teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half of salt, because these veggies are bland. A good amount of fresh pepper. And then for even more flavor, I have 1 teaspoon of dried thyme. Use the best tools in the kitchen, your paws, and mix this guy up. And by the way, if you're not preheating your oven to 450 degrees right now, get on it. These guys go in the oven for about 30 minutes till they're nice and crispy on top and cooked through perfectly. While my big cast iron pan is preheating over medium-high heat for the chicken, you guys need to check out the Flav City Facebook page. every Wednesday evening at about 4 o'clock Chicago time, we're doing live streaming recipes, which is awesome because you guys can interact with me in real time. I can ask you questions, you can ask me questions. So make sure you check that out because I want to see you over there on Facebook. All right, so my pan is preheated for about 2 minutes. I'm gonna add about 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil. And then as soon as the oil starts to smoke a little bit, you know it's hot and ready, and we want that because we're gonna sear our chicken breast and get a nice little crust on there. So go ahead and carefully place it in the pan and press down for about 3 seconds. That way you have maximum contact with the chicken and the bottom of the pan. See that sizzling immediately? That means you're starting the caramelization, the searing process ASAP. Woo! Yeah, boy. That's the sound of happiness. So we're gonna sear these for about 1 to 2 minutes on this side. And because I have a large cast iron pan, I can put all in here at one time. If you need a big one like this, check in the description box. I have a link to one on Amazon. Every kitchen should have it. All right, let's flip these guys over. Oh, that is the definition of GBD. Golden brown and delicious. Look at that crust, you guys. Now, immediately turn the heat off of the pan. You guys know I love a good crust, and that is the definition of one. Now, before we pop this guy into the oven, I'm gonna grab some low sodium chicken stock or broth. Always use low sodium because you wanna control the amount of salt in your dish. Add just enough to kind of cover the bottom. So it's gonna be about maybe 1/2 cup to 3/4. Now before we pop this guy into the oven, these roasted vegetables are calling my name. Let's check it out. We got some more caramelization, y'all. Check this out. The cauliflower is exactly how I love it. Super caramelized and toasty on the ends, but really creamy on the inside. Same thing with the broccoli, look at that. Nice and crispy all over the outside. Now let's lower the temperature of the oven to 350 degrees and pop this sucker in there for about 15 or 20 minutes. Let's try a piece of this cauliflower. Now here's the deal, guys. Obviously I'm drinking the Kool-Aid and preaching this, but if you follow me on the Flav City Instagram story or Snapchat, I made this last week at my cousin's house in Colorado. She and all of our family went gaga. Now the only thing left to do is make my lentil salad with artichokes, oranges, nuts, and herbs. Lentils are huge on iron, protein, fiber. They make your biceps big, and this is how you do it. Add 1 cup of lentils to a pot of boiling water. Season it with a teaspoon of salt and boil it for 25 minutes. Strain the lentils and run them under cold water for 1 minute. Next, chop 3/4 cup of jarred artichoke hearts and add that to a bowl with the lentils, along with the zest of half an orange. Then cut away the skin and use a knife to cut the segments of fruit out and add that to the salad. Grate 2 carrots and add that to the salad, along with 3 tablespoons of chopped and toasted walnuts, a few tablespoons of freshly chopped parsley, the zest of 1 lemon and the juice of half, and then take the remaining orange and squeeze the juice in the bowl also. Hit it up with 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, and a couple cracks of fresh pepper. Give it a mix up and you're done. Those lentils are so creamy, the walnuts are crunchy, the artichokes and oranges are adding so much flavor. That is money. All right, guys, it took 20 minutes exactly, and tell me you do not want that in your pie hole right now. Look at that. Beautifully cooked through. The sauce looks awesome. The smells are driving me insane right now. Let's get these out of the pan ASAP, otherwise they're gonna keep cooking and overcook. Whether you're eating this chicken now or gonna put it in a meal prep container, it has to cool down for about 5 minutes because the juices inside are boiling, and it's good to let them sit for a few minutes. While it's doing that, the #1 question you guys asked me last week is how I reheat my meal prep containers. So what I do, I keep them in the fridge all 5 days because this will last 5 days, no problem. I wrap them in tin foil after I take off the lid, and I put them in about a 300 or 350 degree oven for 10 to 15 minutes. They're juicy and moist and fresh every single time. Not a huge fan of the microwave, but obviously that's a lot quicker. I've got my glass meal prep containers ready. I've got the healthiest buffet of deliciousness this side of the Mississippi in front of me. But before we build our containers, I have to do a little bit of operation snip snip on the chicken. So let's grab one. So go ahead and just cut it with some scissors and peel it off like that. And the second one. And let's slice it into pieces. And check that out, guys. I love that. You see all the stuffing in there in a nice pinwheel formation. I think that just looks so cool. Let's cut a couple more pieces. Put 2 of these guys in the back and then stack them right on top of each other. Gorgeous. Grab some lentil salad. I love those chunks of oranges in there. And then some cauliflower and broccoli. All 5 meal prep containers are done, and these are looking so righteous. You know I gotta try a bite of that chicken. Let's grab a piece, and this is finger food, y'all. Guys, this chicken is off the charts moist, delicious, and all that stuffing we filled in there is bursting into my mouth. This is gonna make me do my happy dance, happy dance. Plus, this meal is loaded with protein. It's low in fat, high in fiber, high in iron, and not only did our fridge break down right before we started this morning, but the repair guy showed up in the middle of the video. No problem, he was in and out. Plus we finished this in like record time. So if I can do it, you can do it. Crazy healthy, crazy easy. The recipe is below in the description box. Check it out and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel for new meal preps every single Friday morning, hooking up all my food fans around the world. If you want to see 2 more super healthy, but most importantly, super delicious recipes, check out the videos below me. See you next week. Hashtag keep on cooking and keep on eating.